Donald Trump is destroying the U.S. economy, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. Now, you probably saw in the news recently, China is now moving to South America, specifically Brazil, for a lot of its agriculture products. Soybeans, a big market that used to belong to the United States, is now going to belong to Brazil, all because of these tariffs. Now, if China starts buying its soybeans from Brazil, that business doesn't come back, and that's billions of dollars for our farmers. And think about the ramifications. First, it's not coming back, so why should China ever consider that, hey, we should go work with America again? Because there will never be another president like Trump who's going to just start this needless trade war. But then in the short term, farmers go bankrupt, and when they go bankrupt, there is a trickle down effect. First in the local economy, but then in the large scale economy, they stop buying diesel, they stop buying equipment, they start costing jobs. They send people there, the jobs they're providing are going to be gone. This is the ramifications. We saw it with beef, where China has already stopped buying U.S. beef and instead went to Australia. We see it with Canada. For the first time since the 1990s, Canada has purchased more vehicles from Mexico than they have from the United States. And again, this is all because of Donald Trump's trade war. And what is the incentive for Canada to come back to the United States? Because just like China, they can't live in a world where there won't be another Donald Trump. Somebody who thinks they know better and they just start this trade war because they think they can use the might of the United States to bully other countries. Now, in the short term, it is true. Canada, China will definitely have to come to the table with the United States. But these long term deals that are this long term business that is starting to shift around the world, whether it's between Canada, Mexico, China, and South America, it's not coming back. And this is all directly because of Donald Trump. This may be the first time in history that we can blame the problems of the U.S. economy on one person, the president. It is 100% his fault that we are losing this business. And here's the wild thing, if Donald Trump changed his mind right now, we would still lose some of that business. We would see the U.S. economy explode and start turning and burning. But that long term business, that long term economic growth in the United States will be gone forever because of Trump. And that is why the 2026 midterms are so vital. We have to gain some control. Now, the courts are doing their part. They just ruled that Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal, but they're going to leave it ultimately up to the Supreme Court so the tariffs are staying in place. But we need Congress. If we can get control of both the House and the Senate, we now have bargaining power with Donald Trump, where we can say, hey, look, you've got a lot of your agenda you want to get through. But if you're going to get through it, you're going to have to work with us. You're going to have to make deals. You're the great deal maker. So here's your opportunity. Now, I've said this before, but I'm going to do my part for the 2026 election, and I'm going to get congressional candidates an opportunity to get in front of an audience. Now, if you follow me from TikTok to here, you already know where I stand. You know what my politics are. That's going to carry over here. So we're going to be working with candidates that match that and that are going to try to get the adults back in the room when it comes to our federal politics. Instead of just a group of Republican congressmen, senators, just following Donald Trump and whatever he says, we're going to have people that are actually trying to use the authority given to Congress in the Constitution. So I hope you join me. That starts tomorrow, by the way. The first interview is going to be Sean Harris, who is running against Marjorie Taylor Greene in Georgia's 14th district. That'll be tomorrow. But it's so vital because, again, the economy is falling apart. Not just today's economy. Yes, we're seeing inflation. Yes, we're seeing a slowing of job growth. We're seeing a slowing of GDP. But long term, we are having ramifications as well. It is short term pain for long term pain, not short term pain for long term success like Donald Trump tries to sell us.